it's always good to be on the same page.
You're dead. Don't talk to me when you see me. Just keep it pushing.
Hey guys, it's the girl Ope and welcome to the All Shows Nigerian channel where I review Nollywood movies, series and reality TV shows. Today I'll be reviewing season 2 episode 5 of the reality show titled Real Housewives of Lagos. And as you, my returning subscribers or returning viewers know, I have been reviewing this particular show for a while now, and yeah, I've really been enjoying it. I guess you guys have been enjoying it as well, because it seems like you guys be watching these videos like that I put out for like this particular show, so I really appreciate you guys. If you're a new subscriber, hi, welcome to the family. Hope you stay, hope you enjoy what you listen to and what you see, and yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get into the video right now. So the episode starts off with, I guess it continues to the next day of when, like after the whole thing with Yabos, Miriam and Faith. And the first thing that we see is Miriam calling her sister to obviously just talk about what went down and like just try and like get somebody familiar to like call her off and like listen to her while she vents. She feels like, yes, she feels bad for causing trouble during Iabos' event. She feels like she didn't have to do that, like it was at the end of the day Iabos' event. So she said she apologized for that and felt remorseful for that. However, she said she did not feel remorseful for going in on Faith, clearly. So yeah,
honestly, to me, that just speaks to Miriam's character, because if you cannot take accountability of when you are wrong at a grown age, like at 30-something years old, then yeah, I really don't know what to say to you. Like, you were obviously wrong in that situation, and hopefully now that you're watching it back with us viewers, you see that you acted a fool in that clip or in that scene, because probably in that moment when she like was living the whole thing, she probably thought she was right, but like obviously looking into it now and watching the actual clips now, I'm sure she really feels like a fool.
But anyways, on the other hand, Faith calls her brother to also vent as well and like talk to him like about what went down with Iabos and Miriam. Essentially, he tells her to like, stay strong, like not let it bother her, this is this and all that, and like just try and enjoy the rest of the days with the ladies and stuff like that. He's able to encourage her. Faith also says she is remorseful, of course, for disrupting Iabos' event. However, she's not remorseful about what she told Miriam like during the event, and rightfully so.
At the end of the day, we obviously already know that Faith was the one in the right and Miriam was just acting a fool in that scene.
But yeah, in the next scene, Dr. Romel finally arrives and he's welcomed by Iabos. She soon gives him a rundown of what went down the night before, and Iabos calls Faith fake, and to which Dr. Romel actually agrees with her. And when I saw that part, I was like, wow.
Like, I kind of saw his character tending towards that side, like of like flip-flopping, but it was very like cringe to actually watch it play out. I know I said, yes, I did like the guy, like his vibe, his shady, like fun shade and stuff like that in the beginning of the episodes. But it's like, this is a whole different like situation. It's like, how are you like communing with the enemy? You obviously know that your friend Faith isn't like on good terms with these particular people, and like the fact that he came unannounced to this result without even informing Faith, and like now he's even bonding with like people that she obviously doesn't get along with, and now like calling her fake as well, like telling Iabos that she's fake as well. That just shows the kind of person that he truly is. And honestly, I'm happy that his friendship with Faith did not even last that long.
After that scene, Laura soon arrives finally, and Faith gets her also up to speed on what's been happening. Laura is obviously shocked by everything that happened in her absence, and like she doesn't even know where to start from. She's like, Faith is like the most lovable person in this world, person that doesn't even look for trouble. Like, so the fact that the ladies keep coming for her is mind-boggling, and I agree, because it's like
that chick is like literally always chill. Even when like they're having arguments with her, she literally has this composure. Like, I wish I had that kind of composure when I'm upset. Like, she's very calm. So like the fact that they're always coming at her, I have to side with Laura. Like, it's honestly very strange. How do you bother the most quiet person in the room like multiple times? It just doesn't make sense. And apparently we soon find out that during the fight the previous day, Miriam, if you remember, was accusing or alleging that she knows a lot about Faith. She has records on Faith and everything, and apparently she was calling out names of people that maybe Faith had been with in the past. I don't know if it's men that she had been with or friends that she had been with that she fell out with or stuff like that. But Faith confirms to us in her confessionals that every name that Miriam mentioned during that whole whatever that she was going through the previous episode, she didn't know any names. Like, the names that she was calling were not people that she knew. So it's like the fact that Miriam would go so low to actually like try and dig up, like, I don't know, information concerning Faith so she can use to throw at her face at an argument is again just showing the kind of person that Miriam truly is. Like, why would you do that? That's petty as hell. Like, who does that? So irritating.
But yeah, in the next scene, Iabos sets up a poetry class for herself, Tiana, and Dr. Romel.
And at this point, I'm like, isn't this like a girls trip, like a group trip type of thing? I feel like I didn't like how everybody was just doing whatever they wanted to do during the day and like meeting at the night during the nights. Like, if this is a group trip, I feel like every event should have everybody in it. So I didn't really get why it was just the three of them that were doing this poetry class. She claimed that it's because they are the more artistic or literary like kind of people in the group, but I feel like that's just a flimsy excuse. At the end of the day, you could have involved everybody unless they just didn't want to participate in it.
Dr. Romel still feels like Faith makes it known that he feels like Faith owes Iyabo an apology and expresses to Tiana that again
Faith is fake and like he doesn't trust the friendship that he had with her. He doesn't know who she is anymore, that she turned on him like during the event that they planned, the Botox event, that he feels like he was just very one-sided. She left all the work for him, blah blah blah. He hasn't heard from her after a week of the event, all sorts of things. He was just going in and in and in, and I'm like, bro, like, what is this? Is this like a attack Faith like scene or what? Like, I don't understand. He just couldn't stop talking about Faith.
And I feel like Tiana noticed that and was shocked by all these revelations by him, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be your friend.
Why, number one, are you badmouthing your friend to somebody that you know she's not on good terms with? Why are you siding somebody that you know she's not on good terms with? And why are you speaking so badly about your friend? It just doesn't make sense. Why not talk to your friend and resolve all these things that are on your mind with her, as opposed to talking behind her back? Tiana even asking like, well, okay, have you confronted Faith on all these things that you're accusing her for, like even your event? Have you told her how you felt about the event, like how you didn't feel like she participated much and stuff like that? And he's like, no, he will use this opportunity to talk to her. And he's like, okay, it's one thing if you actually speak to her about these things and like she just like acts like she doesn't really care. Then it's another thing to not speak to her about it and she just assume that there's nothing wrong between the two of you, and all of a sudden you're just telling everybody that's willing or unwilling to listen that she's a bad friend. Like, that doesn't make sense. And also that also speaks to his character as well.
After that whole poetry session or whatever in the evening before the main, I guess, event, Faith and Chioma meet up, and Faith tries to like explain her side once again to Chioma, because I guess Chioma wasn't present during the whole sit down of when they were questioning her about where Laura was, like during if you remember a few episodes back during Chioma's event. I think Chioma was still welcoming her guests or whatever for her own event, and during that period that was when the ladies were in one corner like grilling Faith like, oh, where's Laura. So she actually didn't witness the whole thing. It's been all hearsay that Chioma has gotten from this, like from that period on, about the whole situation, and obviously she sides with her bestie Iabos. Obviously, Chioma is still ride or die for her friend. She's not trying to listen to anything that Faith has to say in that moment. And honestly, Faith gives up. And honestly, I agree. Like,
what's the point? There's no point beating a dead horse that doesn't want to listen to you further. Like, if she says she wants to be ride or die for her friend and not make her friend take accountability for when they are wrong, well, that's her own like cup of tea. At the end of the day, you try to like clear your name, and she chose not to listen to you. It's better to just move on.
It's finally the main night, and we see that it's like a culturally themed like events. We have like adire hanging all over, like spread around, like on the table, on the canopy, like, and all the ladies were like dressed up in like different like native attires and different adire materials and everything, and it was really nice. It was really colorful, it was really bright, so I really liked like the aesthetic of that event. The ladies soon start arriving for the event, and Faith uses that opportunity to apologize to Yabo finally about like getting out of character during her event the previous night and all that. And obviously Yabo shadily takes the apology.
She doesn't respond. She's rolling her eyes to the back of her neck. Like, she just was behaving like a child while Faith was apologizing. And in Faith's confessional, she was like, I sincerely meant my apology, but if she doesn't take it or if she didn't believe it, that's on her. And honestly, that's all you can do. You can't force somebody to take an apology. You've apologized. it is what it is.
Iabos continues to be shady and stuff like that, but eventually accepts the apology.
I know a lot of people on social media have been like, oh, why did Faith apologize? Like, she shouldn't have apologized. Like, she was in the right. Like, we didn't like how she apologized and stuff like that. But put yourself in her shoes. Imagine, like, you are filming this show. Everyone is telling you that you did something wrong when you know you didn't do anything wrong. Like, basically, they're gaslighting you in that situation. At that point, Faith is like, you know what? It kind of like starts to change her own perspective of what is happening at that moment. I don't know if you guys have been in a gaslighting situation, but that's how I feel. Like, the person starts to actually think like maybe they had like some amount of fault to do with that particular event happening or that particular situation happening. So I feel like that was what happened at that moment. And maybe Faith, obviously being the new girl, obviously every other person aside from Tanya in the group are familiar with the series, and maybe she felt like, oh, with that whole like thing with Iabos, like obviously acting out in Iabos event, like maybe the viewers at the end of the day were going to turn on her. Unknown to her, we saw it for what it was. And yeah, I feel like at that point she was just trying to like rectify any like unnecessary misunderstanding or miscommunication like that the viewers may perceive in that moment of what actually happened, even though low-key she does know that she didn't do anything wrong. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I feel like it's just a natural human instinct. If people are telling you did something wrong, you did something wrong, you did something wrong, and you know you didn't do something wrong, to an extent you start to think like, okay, maybe to an extent I have some accountability, I have to take some accountability to this particular thing that I did and like own up to it and apologize type of thing, just to like dead the issue. But yeah, that's what I feel happened in that whole situation.
Anyways, Faith isn't phased when she finds out that Dr. Romel is joining them for the event, and when he even comes and arrives like to the event to sit down, he greets everyone else except for Faith. But Faith again doesn't really react. Typical Faith behavior, and I'm living for it. The event goes on and the ladies seem to be having fun. I love the part where Yabos Mentor, I can't remember his name now, but he gave a very heartfelt like speech about her and how she has grown in the industry and stuff like that.
And honestly, regardless of Yabos' pettiness and like immaturity or shadiness shown in this show, one thing I would do is give props where props are due and give recognition or give credit where credit is due. I would definitely give her flowers in the filming industry. She has done a phenomenal job. 25 years is no joke. Like 25 years is older than me. So for her to have that kind of like extensive portfolio in the industry, like that's really good. Congratulations to her, and I'm really happy for her, and I'm happy that she's celebrating such an amazing achievement.
But yeah, after the whole speech, Yabos Mentor, I guess, organized like a dance kind of performance for the ladies, and yeah, it was really nice.
We had people like blowing fire from their mouths, all this type of like theatrical, like African like performances and all that. And the girls were really living for it. I was living for it. It was definitely a really nice and wholesome like scene.
It then go on after the whole performance to like play a game when they had to like translate certain things that were written on a piece of paper in their own native language. Everyone seems to be doing it. Like everyone seems to be like at least getting it, but like it seems like Faith isn't able to translate whatever she's given, the piece of paper that she's given, whatever is on it, because she says that she doesn't know how to speak her native language. And all the ladies are like, ooh, oh my god, like she's fake, like how can she not know how to speak her native language? She lived in Port Harcourt for 19 years before she moved, like she's lying, this. And I'm like,
relax. There are people in Nigeria, e.g. me, that lived in Lagos. Like I say, Yoruba girl, I'm a Yoruba girl, but I lived in Lagos for 17 years, and I don't know how to speak Yoruba. My mom is Edo. I lived with her for 17 years. Don't know how to speak any like Edo language. So I feel like that's not a basis to like judge her by saying, oh, because she lived in that specific place, like that means she has to speak that language. There are people that live in certain like areas in Nigeria that were not necessarily raised hearing that language. Like the parents probably spoke to them in English, so there was no opportunity for them to actually be able to speak the language. And just because they can't speak the language doesn't mean they can't hear the language. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I feel like there's a difference. Just because you live in somewhere for years doesn't mean that automatically you have to learn that language. It depends on people that are around you. If your parents don't speak it, if people around you don't speak it much, you may not be able to speak it type of thing. You may understand it, and I'm sure she understands Ikwerre. I think that's her language or where she comes from, but like that doesn't necessarily mean that she knows how to or she has to speak it type of thing.
I don't know if that makes sense, but I am in Faith's shoes. I don't know how to speak my native language too, although I understand it to an extent. So let the girl breathe.
What is honestly fake to me was Chioma's accent, because Chioma knows how to speak Igbo from what we see in this episode. However, I don't know, like her phonetics, I feel like she has to add that phonetics in everything that she says. And I know Chioma, like from the way she speaks, we know she has a Nigerian side to her, like in terms of like accent and this British whatever accent that she's always giving us. And I feel like when she was speaking her Igbo, is like, speak the Igbo the way it's coming to your mouth. You don't need to use your British accent inside the Igbo again. I give props to Tanya, even though she's been like a church mouse and sometimes she just says some rubbish in her confessionals. I give props to her with the whole speaking her language thing. I guess she's Yoruba, and she spoke her Yoruba without any accent. And she naturally has like a, I don't know, American or British accent naturally when she speaks. But like when she was speaking her native dialect, she spoke it well, like in like a proper Yoruba like tone, although she didn't get all the intonations correctly in what she was supposed to translate. But you could tell that, okay, this is Yoruba accent. But Chioma, when she was speaking now, is like she was just adding too much serere, and it was just like irritating. That is fake to me, because obviously I'm sure when you're speaking to your parents and whatever, you don't add that serere inside your Igbo. But anyways, I feel like I'm getting too heated for no reason, but I just feel like I had to say that.
Yeah, they soon go on to play like an acting game, and honestly, Tiana literally had me on the floor when I guess
Chioma was told to play like a gold digging, like side chick kind of role, and Tiana was like in her confessional saying that, it seems like Chioma was born for this role because she acted it to the T, like she was just giving everything, and she's like, maybe she was born to be a side chick. And I was like, oh my god, Tiana, that was so crazy for her to say, but low-key, Chioma nailed that part, so maybe there is some truth to what Tiana is saying. I don't know, you didn't hear it from me.
But yeah, they soon finish their acting game, and Iabos brings up the fact yet again that Dr. Romel and Faith had them waiting for 5 hours during their Botox party. He then apologizes and tells her once again that it wasn't his fault necessarily, that Faith, I guess, was part of the major reasons why they were late to start the event. They did not check on them, this, da, and all those type of things. And like everything is just at this point pointing to Faith. And I'm like, again, the post-terror has entered the group chat.
Didn't Dr. Romel already like talk about this whole thing with Iabos when he came to the resort earlier in the day? Why is she bringing it up again now? And if Faith responds in a way that they don't like, they're going to blame it again on Faith, like, oh, Faith is overreacting, Faith is doing this, Faith is doing that, Faith is doing it. But you guys are poking Faith, and you don't want a reaction from Faith. So don't be surprised if Faith gives you the reaction that you're not looking for, because at this point, it's really giving bullying. It's really giving mean girls, and I don't get it. Like, why does every episode have to deal with like them taking jabs, both little or big jabs on Faith? It just doesn't make sense, and it's really getting tiring at this point.
My girl Faith, of course, she's the queen of composure, while Dr. Romel is going off about like how he has to even have a conversation with her, that he doesn't know where their friendship stands, this, that. She let him down for the event. She just like made it so one-sided. She didn't do anything for him, like this. He just carried the whole event. Faith was just pressing her phone, crickets, as if she wasn't there. And I feel like he was itching all of them, because again, they were looking for something. They wanted her to react, and I'm so happy again that my girl did not give them that satisfaction. But yeah, Tiana soon calls out Dr. Romel and tells him to say everything he said to her earlier about Faith being fake and all those type of things that he was saying during their poetry class and everything. And he's like at this point backpedaling, like, oh yes, like obviously we're supposed to be friends, this, like you're not supposed to treat friends like that.
And I'm like, no, you had a different kind of energy when you were talking about Faith is fake, Faith is this, Faith is that, you don't trust Faith, this is this, like, and now it's like, oh, this is this, that, this. No, say it the way you said it. Say it the way you said it, because you had so much to say during the day when it was only Tiana and Iabos, and now it's like you're backpedaling and you're changing your words and you're making it nicer. The guy is just fake, man. It's just fake. I can't believe I actually fell for his act in the beginning of the season. But honestly, I low-key saw it coming, because he just low-key talks too much. He low-key talks too much, and honestly, the side of me is kind of shocked that he actually, like, at least he didn't even like take like maybe 5 episodes, let it be till the end of the season kind of thing, that we'll see that the fallout is like literally in like a week they already like fell out. So that again just shows his character, and he's not the type of person to be trusted or to take up for his friend.
They soon leave the conversation there. Faith obviously isn't responding to anything that Dr. Romel is saying, and that's pretty much where the episode ends. Like, they cheers to Yabos' 25 years anniversary in the filming industry once again, and yeah, that's where the episode really ends. This episode was cute. It wasn't really that it wasn't really giving much, but it was okay. I can't really complain. It was kind of drama filled. I really liked when Dr. Romel was speaking, like I just said, like talking about Faith, and Faith was just the crickets, like doing her phone and whatever. And in her confessional, she sprayed like Raid insecticide, like, fly, please get out of here, like you're dead. And I was like, I'm dead. Like, I didn't expect that. Her props are funny. First, it was the big wine glass from a few episodes back, and now it's like the Raid insecticide. And I'm honestly here for props. As long as you're not hitting anybody with it, I'm here for your props. Like, it's very entertaining when she brings out her props. But yeah, that's the end of this review. I'll give this episode like a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, it was cute. I love the whole like celebration of Iabos. I didn't like the ganging up of Faith on Faith. I like that Tiana was like the voice of reason this episode. She was literally saying everything in my mind, like all the questions I was asking when Dr. Romel was like going off with Iabos and teaming up with Iabos, talking about Faith. Yeah, that was totally uncalled for, and I'm really happy that Tiana is seeing through the smokes and mirrors of this whole group, like not siding anybody like uselessly and stuff like that.
Oh, another thing I wanted to say. Is it just me, or when Chioma was like arriving for the cultural event type of thing, is it just me? Do you guys catch the bodyguard that was going with her on the stairs? And when I saw that, I was like, not her having a bodyguard after they attacked Faith about her bodyguard situation. At this point, I feel like all the ladies want to live Faith's life, and rather than just like own that and like, say that, they would love to like have some of the luxuries that she has, it's like they take jabs at her, they're jealous, and like they try to bring her down, and that's not cool. That's not what women shouldn't be doing, stuff like this, grown women especially, to each other. Like, what is that? That's just so immature. If you wanted your own bodyguard after seeing her with her bodyguard, then you should have just said that, rather than coming for her and saying, oh, she's not a celebrity, who is she to be carrying a bodyguard? Who is Chioma to be carrying a bodyguard, to be honest? So yeah,
I noticed that. I feel like I just wanted to say that also as well. But yeah, comment down below what you guys thought about this particular episode. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and please subscribe. We're on our road to 200 subscribers, and also we have an Instagram page. I keep forgetting to say this. We have an Instagram page and a TikTok page. It is at ASNigerian. That's what it is on both platforms. I'm going to leave it down below in the description box, as well as on the video at ASNigerian. Please follow the pages, the TikTok page, the Instagram page, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one.